Our discussion for tonight is the persistent simp. Now, this is, for the sake of context, a simp. It's something that's been floating around a lot on social media. And a lot of people have been basically having that conversation on the lengths that a person who is a simp is willing to go. So basically, a simp is referring to someone who will who'll go to great lengths in order to impress a girl. Specifically, it refers to a girl wanting to, or more specifically, it refers to a girl who is trying to impress a guy trying to impress a girl. But the term can also be used in the inverse, basically, whereas a girl is trying to impress a guy. So you'll find a lot of girls get this. Like, you see, if you saw girls' DMs, your mind would explode. Some of the inboxes they get, you would just catch a huge fright. Like, honestly speaking, like, there are just some people who you have to ghost. Am I wrong, Kelita?
It's my only modus operandi, guys. Sometimes it's tense there.
Right? Sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes it's like, whoa.
No, it's nine out of 10 times it's funny.
Yeah.
I think there was one time someone, so random. He was like, "You are fruitful." I was like, I don't understand what this compliment is, but it is what it is. Do you think that, like, I'm going to have multiple children at one time?
Imagine you are fruitful. What?
It's a wild there by the DMs, guys.
Yeah, no, it's a very scary place to be, which is actually, it brings me back to the reason that I wanted us to have this conversation, because it's a bit of a concern. There's a lot of guys growing up not knowing what does it look like to pursue after a woman. When should you be pursuing a woman? Is it necessary to be pursuing a woman at a very early age? And unfortunately, nowadays, a lot of young boys are finding themselves having to, I don't know if I should say unfortunately, they pursuing the girls on their phones, right? Through social media.
Yeah.
And for them, it's such an easy thing to do. And often you find, because you're pursuing someone on social media, you tend to not, there's a lot of social norms you tend to not learn.
Yeah.
A lot of experiences that you tend to not, you don't get to flex a lot of your social muscles. Therefore, you find a lot of guys saying things that are very,
Hey, off-brand.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so, but now the concern comes from here, where you find a person who is so persistent in their pursuit of you online. Like, they'll say something now and then they'll come back 2 years later.
Yay.
They'll come back 6 months later, come back 2 years later. You get married and they congratulate you and they continue coming after you. And it really, really raises a very huge concern, right? What is the... And I get it, right? Because it's not just guys. Girls themselves are not taught how the norms of getting into relationships work, right? So when, for example, I experienced this in my high school, where when we were in high school, a lot of the girls were gatekeepers when it came to getting into relationships.
Okay.
And then us guys were the pursuers. And then we got older, and then girls started realizing we need men.
Like, maybe I should be a little bit less intense.
You know what I mean? And then by that time, a lot of the guys were married.
Hey.
So you have a lot of women. And this is like a very serious thing. You have a lot of women who are my age who they don't have anyone in their lives. They're looking for someone. They even end up going on to dating sites. And then they have these guys who are simping after them, right? And obviously the term simp meaning someone who's just persistently,
it's too much,
coming after you, and just, to a point of just wanting your favor, I just want your favor. How do you deal with someone who is just persistently coming after you, who insists that they want to be in a romantic relationship with you, and you have expressed your disinterest? Now, there are two different extremes to this, right? There is the extreme of someone coming after you to a point of it just being harassment. And then there's the other side of it, where it's not particularly an extreme and it feels innocent because, you know, they just every once in a while will text you. And I think it's like what Charles just said now, teaching our young kids to know when there's sympathy, when you're expressing sympathy, and when you just have to call it quits.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of young boys who are not taught. No one has that conversation with them, because I think often parents find it to be an awkward conversation, you know, to tell your son that there'll come a time when you like girls, and then this is how you should approach that. Avoid doing this. Don't harass a girl in this way.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because, yes, we do often find that sort of stalker tendencies from guys, but girls do need to be taught as well, and they themselves are often not taught. I think society has a tendency to wrap up conversations like that in an attitude of, you'll see, you're gonna get older, you'll start liking boys. What has your experience been, Kelita?
Okay, so for the most part, guys, I'm not the person to play with there by the DMs. Like, I will cut it down. I will shut it down really quickly, just because I feel like, man, first of all, I prefer things in person. But also I feel like most of the people who've like DM'd me, you don't know me. So it's just, you're trying to get me to be in a relationship with you, but you don't actually know me. You just see me singing. That's weird.
Yeah, very.
But I don't know, I feel like how you're talking about how young boys need to be taught how to deal with these things, I think also we need to equip our girls as well. Because I think that the sympathy thing works because girls are empathetic and just emotional in general. So it is also important for us to teach our girls to be strong with their nose and stick up for what they want, and not be afraid to hurt the feelings a little bit. Not in the sense that you're nasty and you're like, who do you think you are? We are not on the same level. I'm out of your league. No, relax. Just express.
Charles is finished.
Oh my word. No, didn't Kelita just sound like one of those Asian comics now? You know,
she did a bit.
I'll take it.
Like an anime female character.
I will take it.
You're at my level.
Yeah. You know, I agree with you fully there, Kelita. Like it does. First of all, I feel like young girls need to be taught how to, that guys can get like that, how to let guys down, and also how to escalate it when that doesn't work.
To be stern.
Yeah, like not even like I do mean that as well, but I mean in terms of how to escalate it towards someone who can assist them, because girls feel embarrassed to take it to their parents, and I feel like we need to create a space where whenever a young girl feels like they're being approached by a guy to such an extent that now they feel uncomfortable, they should be able to approach mom or dad or someone should be approachable enough for them to say, look, there's this guy busy approaching me. I told him no, but now he's just persistent. And I'm just uncomfortable now. I tried this, I tried that, and now I think you need to step into the picture. You know?
So that is actually really, really important. And I think the beauty of, you know, the simping being online is that you have other options as well. Besides,
what are you trying to say?
Block.
Okay.
Sometimes I know that it's difficult for girls to stand up for themselves sometimes. Especially, it's worse in person because I can't block you. You're going to follow me and harass me. And that's worse.
Yeah.
But at least here by the WhatsApps, by the DMs, if you're going to consistently push my boundaries and just not take the L when I say, listen, I'm not interested and I would appreciate it if you stop, then just block them, guys. Like, end it there, because it's not okay to allow yourself just to be harassed because this guy is going through a hard time and he wants to take advantage of your sympathy. That's not okay. That's predatory.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
That's very
True.
predatory behavior. And I feel like we just need to stand up for ourselves in those ways. If we can't, escalate it and take it to the parents, but you still feel bad, block them.
Yeah.
Finish.
Yeah. Like, even if I've noticed that what I tend to do, right? Because, I mean, some you like, but like they add on to, they're my following, Wait. I feel this is a good argument. Shal, you need to be judge and jury here between Kelita and I, because you understand the value of growing an audience, and I understand the value of growing an audience. And sometimes you can tell someone sincerely loves what you do, but they just have those tendencies. But now hear me out. Okay. I'm not saying tolerate them. What I do is, I've realized on Facebook you have the option
mute
you can be able to mute a person from ever making contact with you, but they can still enjoy your music and share it. I realized that a lot of young girls are being taught that, and Kelita, you can speak to this. A lot of young girls are being taught that you are not responsible for how people react online to things you post.
Jesus.
And therefore you can share whatever you feel like sharing, dress however you want. You're not the one who's wrong. It's the ones that are coming after you. And I feel like that's such bad messaging. And here's the thing, this is not to justify anyone who's simping after you.
Yeah.
Because guys who simp after you do need to restrain themselves, Like, I really, guys, I feel very passionate about the fact that young boys need to be taught how to do life. And that includes how to approach women, even online, in an appropriate manner. Because I don't think women would enjoy, or I don't personally think, you can speak to this as well, I personally don't think what women want is for men to stop coming after them. For one. And I also don't think women want men to stop, I'm going to use the term simping. Actually, let me not use simping, because simping has a lot of connotations attached to it. But I don't think women want men to stop coming after them completely online. I think there are women who do appreciate it, and it gives them the ability to be like, let's say if it's a guy you absolutely don't know, my advice is definitely don't entertain it, right? But if it's a guy who feels more comfortable with starting the conversation in your DMs, starting it in your DMs.
Come on.
You understand what I mean? But there are places where it can be finished, right? And I feel like, because it is, like, guys, don't take for granted how much it takes from a guy to approach a girl.
No, guys, you guys have it, because,
right?
Rejection. Yeah.
Hey, it's real. It's real.
Ooh, listen, there's actually a video. It's kind of unrelated, but I'll hopefully make it make sense in the context of what we're talking about. There's a video that I watched today about this woman. She was arguing with this other man in like a baseball match or something like that. So she's in the stands with him, and this guy's like, "Please don't touch me." They're really heated. It's a very bad argument. This woman slaps the guy. And this guy just went off, right? And the husband or the boyfriend was trying to protect the girl. Yeah, he got knocked out, bruh.
Yo.
Like, it was really bad. So the people who were commenting on that video were to say that, listen, it's not right for a man to hit a woman. We know that, okay? But you do not know the man you're dealing with. So you can't just go out smacking men and expecting them not to hit you back.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how they were raised. That might not have been the lesson that they were taught. In the same manner, when we're posting on Instagram, yes, especially when it comes to Christian men, we know that it is your responsibility to take care of your faith in the fact that, like, you should it's our responsibility not to lust after people, right?
Yeah.
It's not to say that people who are causing your lust are in the right and they have the right to. How does that make sense? They like, if you are a Christian, right? It doesn't mean that you have the right to post your whole, your booty popping out on the screen, right?
Yeah. To arouse, intentionally arouse
to do
people
it-
around you.
Exactly. So now what we have to think about is that, yes, you have the right to post whatever you want to, but you need to know that not everyone is raised like you would like them to respond to your picture. Someone might harass you. And that is to say that we need to be proactive in protecting ourselves first. And I had to have that hard experience once. When I was in high school, shame, I was a skinny child. So I would wear shorts because it was hot, it was summer. And guys, the day I got stalked in Pick and Pay, hey, I was like, actually, I understand this thing. I can tell my mom I can wear shorts all my life. It's my body. I can do it. I think I look nice in shorts. But I don't know who's walking in Pick and Pay. And one day I might come across a stalker. One day I might come across a murderer who wants to find me in my car. So I don't, or, worst case scenario, I guess, a murderer. But like, you don't know who's around you, so you need to do the due diligence to protect yourself at all costs.
Yeah.
And I know that sucks because that puts responsibility on us. And in a perfect world, yes, we would be like Adam and Eve and just you'd be able to walk around naked and no one's going to do anything to you. But the truth is we are not in that world, so we need to act accordingly. Please protect yourself.
No, I absolutely do agree with you. I actually saw, I didn't watch that clip you're talking about, but someone took a screenshot of it and then made a comment about it, and I kind of grasped what was happening. So it is, I think, it is just generally important to, first of all, just respect people.
Yeah.
You understand? And also respect, I think even having the conversation not from a perspective of don't intentionally, dress in a way that is provocative, for the people around you because they might harm you. But just for the fact that you yourself are being considerate of them.
Yes.
You understand? Not because you might be harmed in any way, but just for the sake of being considerate.
Making room for other people's faults, especially in the space of believers.
Yeah.
That's why modesty is important as women, why we should take it seriously. Is because not because it's my body, my choice, but I feel sympathy for the man who's been struggling with lustful thoughts for years and he's trying to overcome that. Like, that's literally like going to drink in front of a person who just came out of a rehab center for alcoholism. Like, don't be that guy.
Yeah, exactly. The slack you take for having that conversation in our modern world. It's a hectic one. But otherwise, I think we can definitely conclude it here as Charles gets our devotion for tonight ready. I think it is a very important thing that we need to teach our young boys. First of all, what are the appropriate ways of approaching a woman? Because you can't expect a little kid to figure it out for themselves.
Yep.
And the worst thing you could do is expect them to learn it from their friends.
Oh, no.
You have no idea what high school guy friends teach us out there. Like, if I could share the lessons I learned, I'd be embarrassed, Like, Charles would just laugh at me forever. Honestly speaking. So we need to teach our young boys these things. It needs to be intentional. How do you approach a girl? How do you what is the appropriate way of approaching a girl online and why, and how do you approach them in real life? How do you create safe spaces for young girls to be able to say, no, I feel like this guy is simping me, he's crossed the line, I've told him no, and I need assistance. And also with just making young girls aware of how can you block or mute a person on these platforms.